musicians in bars getting beer. It's one bad son, but I got two.
Yeah, there's two bad sons.
Two bad sons. I got Kurt.
Kurt Dahl and
Adam Hicks.
How you doing, guys?
Good, man.
So we're at the Horseshoe. Tell us about the show tonight, first of all.
Well, it's kind of like, it's been a long time coming. I remember thinking like 10 years ago, it'd be really effing cool to play the Horseshoe on a Saturday. And we got a bunch of Tuesdays and Wednesdays for years, and which is how it goes. And now the Saturdays showcase at CMW's here, so it feels effing good, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Now you guys got a tune on the radio.
Yes. It is called Raging Bull. It's our 13th single, which is kind of crazy. We've been together 13 years, and we've had a bunch of number 5s, and that's cool. And then this is cracking. Yeah, it might be number 3 as of when this airs, with a bit of luck. But right now it's number 4.
We can say it.
We'll see what happens.
Cheers.
So it's our highest charting song.
Coming to number 1.
Yeah.
Adam, tell me where you guys from.
We are from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan.
Right on.
Prairie kids, love it.
Right on. And what's the scene like out there?
You know, it's great. Like a small, awesome music scene, basically. Like, yeah, it's great.
Favorite bar to play out there?
Well, you got the Capitol is great. We played Buds for years. We've kind of been all over that time. We play O'Brien's all the time now. Yeah, it's great.
And what do you say, Kurt? What do you say to that question?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many good venues, man. Like Amigos, we got Amigos and Buds. We kind of got our start at. I mean, now we're playing like the bigger, 1,000-seater, which is took us a long time to get there.
Right on.
But yeah, I mean, it's like Saskatoon it's sort of in a bubble, right? Like a lot of great music scenes, like Seattle was like just tucked in there. Saskatoon's kind of tucked, like it's kind of developed its own vibe, its own character, and that's the same with us. Like we've never chased trends. I don't know what is fucking trending in rock and roll right now.
So what's your influence then?
For me, I'm definitely like more the older rock and roll guy, like 60s, 70s rock and roll, like stuff like growing up. It's like, well, there's early 90s stuff, which was huge for me, right? All the Seattle shit. But then I kind of discovered all their influences, like Zeppelin, Hendrix, The Who, Deep Purple, and then I got into the 77, the stuff, like Television, Clash, Sex Pistols, all that stuff. It's like, so I don't listen to a lot of modern music, and I'm okay with that. These guys listen to more modern stuff, and yeah, that's cool.
Okay, like what, Adam?
I'm wearing my biggest one, all right?
What's that?
I'm a Metallica guy, grew up with it.
Right on.
I grew up with the heavier stuff, Metallica, Panteras, and then same about their influences, like Zeppelin and stuff too. So it's kind of like it was meant to be. It all came together for OBS.
So how would you describe your band?
Jeez, I don't know. Like we got the classic Led Zeppelin lineup, right? Kind of like the same thing, but
Right.
I'd say like classic early '90s, but modern twist on it. I guess like. It's so hard to tell. Like you got to listen to it. We're OBS. We sound like one of
I'm
them.
not trying to put you in a pigeonhole or anything.
No, but it's good. It's a good question. I mean, ultimately, in my world, rock and roll isn't a niche, but it seems right now rock and roll is a bit of a niche, which is kind of crazy, right? To me, in my world, rock and roll rules the world, right? Bands like people would look to like the Stones, the Beatles, Zeppelin, Bob Dylan, Neil Young to see what's happening in the world, and some of that's been lost. Pop and country and EDM are way bigger than rock. But for me, like the truest and the greatest form of music it's always been rock and roll. So if you like any of the bands that we just listed in the last 3 minutes, you probably like OBS. We're just real rock and roll. That we play our own instruments, we wear our own wardrobe, we write our own songs. Like people that seems to be lost. Like people don't write their own songs anymore.
Tell me about the writing then. How's that work out?
We've always kind of done it ourselves. I mean, on this record, we actually are including our producer in the writing, which is kind of cool. He's really pushed us. His name's Gavin Brown. He's a big producer here in town. But typically we just get together, and it's always been the four of us just writing in a jam sort of situation, kind of similar to like the Chili Peppers. It's like you start with a riff or a bass line or maybe a drum beat, and then we go from there. Like usually lyrics, vocals sort of come towards the end. So it's the opposite of like, you know, I love Bob Dylan, he's my favorite writer. You know, Dylan often will start with just chords and lyrics, you know, and for us the lyrics are kind of, it's always jam based, and then lyrics kind of, whatever the music inspires in Shane or the rest of us, that sort of influences the lyrics, you know.
So who writes lyrics?
You know, it's mostly Shane. I mean, we've all been sort of writing on this new stuff, like throwing ideas out, and Shane will kind of, you know, work with them from there. And
What do you play?
I play drums.
The electric guitar.
This is jam.
That was just an air guitar move. Sorry, it's a close up. Right on. So we're drinking some beers at the Horseshoe where it all began here. This was my first show was here. So
Nice.
How many shows you guys done here? Probably a zone.
Not a ton.
Not,
Like
I think
three
or four. Yeah, this is gonna be the biggest one.
Is it?
Yeah, well,
I know.
Saturday night CMWs, like at the Horseshoe, that's where it's at. Like,
And so you guys have been together for 13 years, you said, right?
2004 we formed at a time when rap rock and nu metal was big. That was not our thing. What else is big? Like, rock and roll was it was a shitty time for rock and roll. 2004, you know.
Well, yeah. And then you guys started, and now it's not.
We're trying. Yeah, there was a dark period, you know, and
And so you guys have been here for CMW 4 times.
just
Yeah,
here
we-
at the venue 4 times.
yeah, we used to do CMWs when starting out, right? Like crappy slots and crappy times. But you got to get here. Like everyone's here, industry's here, other bands are. So we did that, and now it's kind of cool to come full circle, and we're at the shoe on Saturday. So yeah, it's kind of like Kurt said earlier. We talked about this. We talked about this day, and now it's here. And
So tell us about the recording.
back in Saskatoon, we did some independent records, and then we did. We've done 2 full records on 604 Records now, and then this will be our 3rd one with them.
Okay. Are they all on iTunes and such?
Oh yeah, iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify,
Right on.
wherever. Yeah.
Maybe even MySpace. I don't know.
Yeah. 13 years we've been together, so we did 2 indie records, kind of on our own in Saskatoon, and then got the attention of 604 Records in Vancouver, so we moved there for 5 years. And then we did the self-titled One Bad Sun record, and then Black Buffalo came out. And yeah, then Raging Bull is a single for the 3rd record with them.
Right.
Yeah, that's the story.
So you guys, you released those independently, those first couple. And what was that like? Tell us the story about
Well, we had a small label in the U.S. Like run by like one guy, essentially, you know. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of years where we're kind of just trying to find that sort of breakthrough moment, you know. And so, you know, a lot of tours booked by like me. We like send out the actual press kit that had like an 8x10 glossy photo and a CD and like it was a crazy time. Like before social media with a lot of that stuff, right? So, you know, and then 2012 was sort of the breakthrough. Well, breakthrough in quotation marks. I think we're still waiting for that big one, which is coming with this record.
2012 was kind of like we released Scarecrows, and it was our first kind of big single hit, so it was kind of like an eye opener. Like, we can do this. Like, let's keep going. Like,
It's a watershed.
yeah.
What was your favorite gig about?
Ever? Well, I mean, one of the biggest tours we did was opening for Def Leppard across the West. You know, playing stadiums like 12,000 people, 13,000 people. That was pretty good.
How many shows did you do on that tour?
8,
I think it was 10.
10.
With Def Leppard.
Yeah, it was
That's
cool.
awesome.
Like,
Yeah, it was great.
you know, we always dreamt of playing stadiums, right? Every band does, but how many actually get that chance, right? And that's, of course, what we're going for with this new record is doing it ourselves. But it was such an amazing, like, you know, doing sound check and it's like hitting the kick drum. It's just like, it felt like a bomb going off, you know, like, it's great. I can pretend that it wasn't an awesome thing, but it was just fucking awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Did you talk to Joe Elliott much? Apparently he knows a lot about music.
Well, yeah, him and I are both Ian Hunter fans.
Right on.
You know, Want the Hoople. So we talked about, Ian, and he's good buddies with Ian Hunter. Ian Hunter was at Joe Elliott's wedding.
No kidding.
So, we rode up a bit on that, and it was cool. Like, I love, like, when I meet, not idols, but, like, big-time players in the industry, musicians.
You know, Gowan mentioned him too. That's what I remember.
Ian
we were
Hunter?
talking- I interviewed Gowan and he talked about Joe Elliott too. So
Nice.
everybody's got everybody's got a Joe Elliott story. So
It's just cool to talk music, right? if I met Neil Young, I'd probably like be a little schoolgirl, you know. Like, but like you can always talk music, right? Like Joe Elliott, it's like we're talking Ian Hunter, we're talking our favorite Moth Hoople song, and it's just like we're just bros, you know. I see it here, we're just mates. We're just mates talking music, yeah.
Cool. Okay, so Joe Elliott's story. You got any other funny stories from the road? Maybe Adam's.
Judas Priest, dude.
Yeah, like it was kind of, we did the Def Leppard thing, and then kind of snowballed into doing a couple with Judas Priest opening too. So like
Stadiums.
Yeah, stadiums. Kind of, it was unreal. But like
you opened some shows for Judas Priest as well.
Just a couple, like in the prairies in Canada, but it was like just another idol. Like it was unreal. Like
there's another one of my favorite interviews, by the way. Gwen Tipton called me once.
No shit.
Yeah, it was awesome.
But crazy road stories, like they happen daily, so like to start getting into them is like crazy. But, like,
what do you got?
Signing boobs is like, that's kind of the norm, but you know, there's been some very, I would say, exuberant fans in the female persuasion. You know, it's part of the job. It's on our resume. It's part of the job.
yeah, it's tough.
Any challenges in the recordings or any people you want to mention that you really want to thank for the recording?
Just honestly, we've been around for 13 years, and it's great. All across the country, we see different cities, fans that have been there for the whole ride, and like honestly, just thanks. We're grateful for you, and we're only getting bigger, and you guys are along for the ride. Like, thank you to the fans.
What do we got to watch out for then?
You gotta watch out for OBS taking over the world, I guess. New record in September. Raging Bull's still kicking ass. So thanks for everyone digging the song. New single will be out in the summer, and let's rock and roll.
What do you say, Kurt? What do you think? Any funny stories? Is that a look?
Sorry. What were you asking?
Nothing. You play them, man. It's the YouTube.
Hey guys.
It's
Hey.
not me. It's the YouTube.
Yo, it's Kurt. It's your man Kurt. What's shaking?
I can say check out. If you want to know more about us, go to onebadsun.com. All our socials are on there.
Yeah.
Merch store, everything. Like
AdamHicks.com.
yeah.
No, it doesn't exist. What else?
Tell us a story.
You know,
A challenge from the recordings.
well, I mean, every time we go to record a song, it's a challenge. You know, like finding that magic, right? Like sometimes the magic happens, boom. Like I'd say our biggest songs, just the magic happens, and just like it's like catching lightning in a bottle. It just happens, right? But for all the other songs, it's totally a struggle. But that's the beauty of rock and roll, you know. Sometimes Keith Richards says, you know, it's like he's just got a really good antenna, you know, and none of this shit's his. It's just he picks it up, and that's, I feel like with us, like our biggest songs. Some songs we worked on for like literally 8 years, and the chorus is shit, but the verses are great. But I want to find that chorus, and I'm always pursuing it. It keeps me up at night sometimes, you know. But the big songs, all of a sudden just will just come. They're not even yours. Just kind of pick it up, boom, and it's there. It's done, you know, and that's like, I think what drives a lot of musicians crazy, you know, is like trying to find that magic, you know, and trying to capture that lightning. But that's like, that's the gift of being a creative person, is like always searching for that thing, you know. And I feel lucky that we've done this for 13 years, and we're getting better at catching those butterflies, you know. And, I can't wait to see what the next one is. I feel like our biggest song, we just wrote it, and it's not recorded yet. And I get like giddy talking about it because it just sounds, it's there, you know. So I hope I say that in a year, and in 2 years, and in 5 years. I hope I keep saying it.
Hey, I hope you'll come back and do another interview with this guy, man.
Hell yeah.
Might not be able to see you guys in 5 years.
Well,
Catch them early, people, while you can get close.
Well, like we joked about earlier, it's like, you know, we're like, we're at that point where we're on the rise, so none of us have like alcohol and drug issues yet.
Yeah.
But you know, once we had a couple number ones, you know, it might be a different story. So catch us now while we're clean, and who knows where we'll be in 10 years, you know, 5 years, 1 year.
Yep. Beer's good for you, man. Thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Musicians in Bars Getting Beer with Kurt and Adam from One Bad Sun. Have a great show tonight, guys.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Appreciate it.
Awesome.